Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our live session today. I am Dr. Anshul Gupta, welcoming you on our special series where we are talking about inflammation. A lot of people have been reaching out, talking about, well, how we can improve inflammation. We have seen a lot of your videos, but we are not sure how to exactly implement it. So that's the reason here I am, bringing you all the series where we are going to talk about inflammation, how you can improve it, what you can do to get rid of inflammation for you. And I have divided them into multiple sections. So today we are going to specifically going to talk about food and how you can utilize diet to help improve or cure your inflammation piece of it. Because we did a poll and a lot of people actually commented or actually voted that they want to talk about majorly about the diet piece of it. So the way we are dividing these live sessions is that I'm going to do like a 10-15 minute presentation for you to kind of give you my information or my take on the diet or anything we are talking about regarding inflammation. So you have bullet points and you know exactly how to implement it. So those are useful, and then I'm going to take some question and answer sessions so that I can answer your questions whatever you have regarding it. Obviously we're going to try to incorporate as many questions I can, but sometimes obviously, as you understand, it might be difficult to answer all the questions, so we're going to try that. But yes, welcome to our live sessions again. Thank you so much for showing the love. Recently we hit 500K on our channel, so all because of you guys, with all the love that you are showering on us. So I'm really really thankful for it. We are waiting for more people joining it. But meanwhile, if you want to introduce yourself, tell me where you are joining us from. That always is nice to know where people are joining, because obviously people are joining from all over the globe. So it is nice to know where people are, and this is an opportunity for me to also know where you are, and just anything about you that might be interesting for us to know, or which you feel comfortable about sharing, would be nice to know too. So but yes, welcome to a live session. We will just get started in a minute or so. As I said, I'm going to start with my presentation first, and then I will open up for a question and answer session. As a bonus for today's session, we are also going to give you a special handout, which is going to specially talk about the diet, which I'm going to talk about today. Some tips and tricks about that, you can how you can implement it, and hopefully that handout would be useful for you later on. And it is free to download, so we'll post the link into the chat section now as well as later on, where you can download that handout to be used later on for you. Always you can come back and watch this live session again to kind of get to know about this session. Great. So let's see where people are joining us from. So Ankita is joining us from India. uh, Thomas is joining us from Singapore. Guru Pyari is joining us from Chandigarh. Priyanka from Delhi. Dennis from Spain. Kamal from India again. That is great. Keith is joining us from England. Awesome. Lay is joining us from Virginia. Poonam is joining us from India, Maharashtra. Awesome. Miriam is joining us from Israel. That is great. Awesome. And then Cindy is joining us from Trinidad. Veronica is joining us from Texas. So that is great, guys. I mean, literally, I can see people from all over the globe. I'm so thankful for you guys. Like Northern Virginia, Josephine is joining us from. So that is awesome. Canada, Preetam Darling is joining us from Minnesota. Minnesota, I did my residency in Minneapolis at Hennepin County. So welcome, Darlene from Minnesota. Wonderful. Ireland, Monica is joining us from Ireland. Awesome. A lot of people are joining us. Arun, Somveer, Monica, and Deepa joining us from Chennai. Ashok is joining us from Pittsburgh, very close by. Cleveland, that's where we are. So Cleveland and Pittsburgh, kind of close together. So wonderful. Great. And somebody joining us from Aruba. Great. Nigeria. Awesome. And then from Florida. That's great. Alice from Canada. Wonderful, guys. Thank you. Thank you again for showering the love and, joining us from all different parts of the world, taking the time out for coming over here. So we'll get started. As I said, hopefully more people will join in. But as I said, I'm going to start with my presentation. As I said, today's topic is all about food. Okay, so try to also restrict your questions regarding the food. So today I'm taking about what is the best diet, how to implement the diet to reduce inflammation. Then in the future sessions we are going to talk about how to reduce inflammation by fixing your gut, and then we're going to talk about supplements or natural nutrients that you can use to again reduce inflammation. And then maybe we might talk about stress, or like how to take care of or detoxification to improve inflammation. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep posting these polls, so please respond to those polls or community posts so that I will know exactly what you guys are interested in for my future live sessions. And the good news is that I'm going to do these live sessions on the regular basis, because I can see a lot of people have several questions. So as I said, if unfortunately I'm not able to get to your question in today's live session, definitely we will try to get in the next one. So keep joining us. Keep your reminders on. Set your notifications. This is the same time we'll be going live every Thursday. At least that's what we're going to try for at least the next 1 month or 2 months, and see what response we get. If it is useful for you, please again let us know so we can keep doing it in the future. All right, so let's get started. Not waste any more time. I'm going to start presenting so that we can talk about all about the diet. So hopefully you can see my screen. So this is, as I said, the session about best diet to reduce inflammation, and what are the evidence-based strategies. Because if you are following me, you know that what I share over here, I want to be as evidence-based, as science-based, and backed by research, so that you're getting authentic information. That's the goal. You know me, like with my credentials, like MD, and then formal Cleveland Clinic functional medicine physician. What exactly is inflammation, right? What are the common symptoms? A lot of people also know that, okay, well, I've heard of this inflammation. What are my symptoms? So symptoms can be as simple as chronic fatigue, brain fog issues, joint pain, stiffness, like feeling bloated all over your body or in your stomach. Your mood changes, you feel stressed out, feel anxious, depressed, your morning stiffness. So these are like some major symptoms of inflammation. You are unable to lose weight or unable to gain weight, both are actually signs of inflammation. So these are just some common signs. There can be a lot more, but these are the most common ones. Now, why you should be worried about inflammation? The reason you should be worried about inflammation is because of the diseases which this inflammation can cause. We have research science which suggests that inflammation can lead to heart diseases, okay, cardiovascular diseases, atherosclerosis, heart attacks, all those things, hypertension can happen because of inflammation. Autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriasis, MS, any autoimmune disease, the root cause is inflammation. Thyroid disorders, right? Like Hashimoto's disease, hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, hypothyroidism, all this is because of inflammation. So very, very important to take care of this inflammation right away so you can safeguard your body from these future diseases. So, okay, so what is the best diet? Okay, you might have heard about AIP diets, you might have heard of carnivore diet, you might have heard of vegan diets, Mediterranean diets, low FODMAP diets, so elimination diets. What is the best diet for inflammation? Okay, so basically the first, so there are different concepts. Okay, so like I would like you to understand the concepts, because that is going to take you much further out. Okay, because as you saw, we have people joining us from all over the globe, right? And everybody has different cultures, so different cultures will have some variations in their diet. So I want to give you some framework, so it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world and what culture you are from, you can implement this diet in you to kind of make it easier. Okay, because this is what I realized. A lot of people come to see me, well, like we work with this functional doctor or this nutritionist, she gave me her diet, but I don't eat that food. What should I do? And she has no answers. So that's where I realized, aha, that is very important. It is not a diet for me, it is a diet for you. So you should be able to use it, and that's where I created this framework. First framework is that rainbow plate. Okay, rainbow means colors. So we want different colors in your diet. So all those vegetables that you are eating which has different colors, make sure you're including at least 7 to 8 colorful vegetables each and every day in your diet. Okay, so at each and every meal, whether it is breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're including some vegetables. Why? The reason being, each and every color in this vegetable is an antioxidant. And this special antioxidants help your body to fight off inflammation and oxidative stress and reduce inflammation. So, very, very important. Doesn't matter whoever says what, you have to include colorful, non starchy vegetables. Okay, I include the word non-starchy because a lot of people, as soon as they hear about vegetables, they start eating too many potatoes or corn. Okay, that's not the vegetables we're talking about. We're talking about all the colorful vegetables you can think of. And every day, make sure you're including colorful vegetables in your diet. Okay. The second thing is good quality protein. The reason being, proteins breaks down in your body in amino acids. The role of amino acids is that they participate in enzymatic reactions in your body, which neutralizes inflammation in the body. Okay. And a lot of people are low in these specific amino acids. So if you're low in those amino acids, those enzymes do not work, and then inflammation piles up in your body. So very, very important to include good quality protein, good quality fats. Okay. When I talk about fats, everybody says, well, we have been heard, we have been told avoid fats. Yes, you avoid bad fats like trans fats, which is in processed food, which is in fried food. But good quality fats like olive oil, like, your Indian ghee or coconut oil, or good fats are like avocados and nuts and seeds. You need those. Each and every cell of your body is made with fats. Without good fats, your body will not survive. So make sure you're including it. Okay. Then we are going to talk about proper food combinations. Be smart. If you have been following me on YouTube, recent series we have been talking about is that single foods don't work. Like ginger, turmeric, even those powerful foods, if you combine them with the right ingredients, they become 10 times more powerful. So we are going to talk about some specific food combinations. So stick around with us because I'm going to tell you some key combinations that can be useful for you. Hydration. We are into the summer months, right? But even in winter months, hydration is very, very important. 8 to 10 glasses of water. We are not talking about sodas over here. I'm not talking about sugary drinks over here. I'm talking about water. If you can add minerals to your water, even better. That increases your hydration. So again, that is even good for you to kind of do that way. Okay. So that is great. That's awesome that you're doing it that way. Let me see over here what's going on. Um, okay, well, I just came to know people are saying that there is no screen. Alrighty. Okay, we need to fix this. Sorry about that, guys. Let's do this thing and see. Can you guys see me now? All right, let me try to do the presentation one more time. Okay, let me try one more time to see if we can see it. Okay, now can you see the screen now? Can you see the presentation, guys? Okay. All right. Well, I apologize for that. Yes. Okay. I don't know what happened at the time. So, okay. So we'll keep going. So they said, so we're talking about the anti-inflammatory diet framework. So I will just repeat it very quickly. So we first principle was the rainbow plate, where basically, as I said, half of your plate, or you should include colorful, non-starchy vegetables. Very important. Each and every meal, good quality protein because you need those amino acids to make those enzymes which neutralize your inflammation. Good quality fats, as I said, very important over there also to keep your cell membranes in good quality. Then, as I said, proper food combinations, which, as I said, we are going to talk about just in a second. Make sure you're getting hydrated, especially adding minerals to your water. That is going to increase your hydration because that water will reach inside your cells. Okay. And then breakfast is the king. Now, with the recent kind of introduction of intermittent fasting, a lot of people are skipping breakfast. Okay. I'm not against intermittent fasting, but I also feel the first meal of your day, whether you call it a breakfast, whether you call it as a brunch, or whether you call it as lunch, should be very high quality anti-inflammatory foods. Okay, so that is very very important. Okay, so breakfast is the king. Make sure you are including that good quality breakfast over here. All right, then the next thing, food to avoid. Okay, so very important, which food you need to avoid. So processed food. Okay, so make sure any kind of processed food you're eating, make sure you're avoiding that. So very very important to do that also. Modern dairy products, so any kind of modern dairy that you are consuming, I believe the more you reduce the dairy, the better it is for you. Fried foods are also good to avoid, because as you know, the fried foods are basically have too much trans fat, so that will going to be uh, damaging to your body. Sugary foods and processed food, sugars causes too much inflammation in your body, so make sure you are avoiding any kind of sugar that your body or your you're getting through food. Okay, so make sure you avoid these food. If on top of that you can avoid gluten, that is great, because as you know, a lot of research studies do point towards that people who have high amount of inflammation in their body will also have high amount of inflammation and gluten sensitivity. So make sure you also avoid gluten as much as you can. Okay, so these are the food you need to avoid. Okay, so very very important that you need to do that. All right. So what the concept of rainbow non-starchy vegetables that I was talking about, why that is important is that because each and every color, as I said, has a different antioxidant. Okay, so that is the case. So red colors, like red color vegetables like bell peppers, tomatoes, will have vitamin C, lycopene. Orange will have carrots, sweet, like which has beta carotene. Greens are like kale and broccoli and spinach, which has sulforaphanes in them. Whites are like garlics and onions. Garlic will have allicin in them. Purples are eggplant and purple cabbages and things, which again has special antioxidants. So each and every color has a different antioxidant associated. I just want to give you some examples over here so that you know what I'm talking about in terms of a rainbow color diet. Okay, so very very important over here. Good fats, what I'm talking about, good fats, like fish. So if you are a non-vegetarian, you can eat fish, that is great. Salmon, sardines, tuna are good sources of omega 3s. Again, try to get like wild caught, so you're not getting mercury. So very important to know that. And again, a lot of people are frying their fishes. Well, if you fry it, you're destroying all the good fats, so that is not the case. Okay, remember, any kind of fried food is bad for you, including fish. So lightly steam them or saute them. Look, those are the best ways. If you are a vegetarian, then the plant sources of good fats will be your chia seeds, your flax seeds, your walnuts. So you can do those. Avocados are also good sources of fat. Then, as I said, if you're including oils, then olive oil and Indian ghee or coconut oil are really good. But again, for nuts and seeds, very important to know that you have to soak the nuts overnight. Okay, because you might have heard of lectins, right? A lot of people are avoiding lectins, and then in that process they actually completely give up even good foods like nuts and seeds. But if you soak your nuts and seeds overnight, then you reduce your lectins very considerably, and they actually become good source of fats for you, and they actually become healthy for you. So don't throw away those nuts and seeds. Those are good for you. Just soak them, and they are going to be more helpful for you and help you to in improving your health. Okay. Good quality proteins. What are the good quality proteins that you should be including? Animal sources of protein, which will be chicken, fish, as I said, grass-fed meats, if you want to do those. Vegan sources will be again lentils, beans, and chickpeas, and then nuts and seeds are other options, and then quinoa or brown rice. Now, here's the thing about over here. So, if you, what is the difference or what qualifies as good quality protein? Okay, because good quality protein should have all the different amino acids. Okay, what that means is that we have essential and non-essential amino acids in our body. Essential amino acids are the ones which our body cannot make. We need to get it through food. And this is the bad news over here for vegans or vegetarian people. Okay, vegan or vegetarian people, we do not have complete plant sources of all the amino acid protein. So what you need to do, you need to combine proteins. Okay, so let's say if you're eating eggs or chicken or fish, that has all the amino acids, so you're getting a complete source of protein. But let's say lentils, okay, each and every lentil doesn't have all the amino acids, so that way you have to keep rotating your proteins. So that is very important key that will help you to get different amino acids that your body needs. Okay, that means one day you can have lentils, the next day you can have beans, the third day you can have chickpeas, or maybe in the same day, you can have different plant protein in the morning, like, and then different one in the lunch and dinner. So that way in a day you are getting all the amino acids that your body needs. So if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you have to work a little bit harder to make sure that you get all the proteins and amino acids. I'm not saying that you should turn to become a non-vegetarian, but I'm just saying that just keep an eye on these things. And this is what a lot of vegetarian or vegan folks do not know. And that's the reason they lack the good quality proteins. Okay, so make sure you're including good quality protein. Each and every meal should have this good quality protein for you. And even grains like quinoa and brown rice are a decent source of proteins. Okay, all right, carbohydrates and foods, like, obviously everybody is avoiding carbohydrates and things. I am big proponent of having gluten free whole grains. Again, try to rotate your grains, but each meal only have one grain. So quinoa is good, brown rice is good, even millets are good. So, like, just kind of keep rotating your grains, whichever works for your culture or your locality, then use that grain. Try to stay away from gluten as much as possible. Fruits are again a double-edged sword, because a lot of fruits are very high in carbohydrates or sugars, which will again burden your system with inflammation causing things. So again, low glycemic index fruits, which are like berries, are the best ones, like blueberries, strawberries. Those are not available. Apples and pomegranates are a good option for you also, but limited quantities. A lot of people are eating too many fruits, which actually also causes too much sugar burden in their system. So yes, some fruits is okay, but not overdoing it. Okay, all right, so this is where I was talking about the combinations, right? So be smart and create these combinations, so that will increase the benefit 10 times. So turmeric, make sure you're including turmeric in your diet, but use black pepper with it. And as you might have seen my recent video, which was just released yesterday, tart cherry juice, if you combine it with it, it actually becomes a superpower. Okay, so try to combine this recipe. If you don't know about this recipe, make sure you watch the video that I put out yesterday. They'll tell you exactly this recipe, but that will make it very good. But at least combine turmeric with black pepper with every, like, and whenever you're adding turmeric, so increase the absorption. If you can add the tart cherry juice, it is going to be even better. When you're using ginger, again, that's a very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory compound. But combine ginger with garlic and flaxseed oil, and again they again synergistically help with each other. So if you're adding food wise, then add your ginger and garlic, and then on top of it add a little bit of flaxseed oil. Let's say you don't have flaxseed oil, or you don't like the taste of flaxseed oil, then what is the other option? Then maybe you can do either extra virgin olive oil or extra virgin coconut oil also. But the flaxseed oil works the best. Okay, so if you can use this combination, that is great. If not, and then at least use the other way. So that way, food combinations are good. Like, like, let's say you're preparing your stir fry, or you're preparing your vegetables, add a little bit of ginger to it, add a little bit of garlic to it, and then in the end you add your oil. Okay, because if you're cooking too much with oil, remember that becomes a trans fat. So make sure don't cook too much with oil, but add your oil in the end. That is going to make them super super powerful combination that way. Whenever you're having your omega 3s, like let's say if you're having your fish, or you're having a chicken, just squeeze in a little bit of lemon or lime. Again, that is going to make it even more powerful medicine for you to reduce inflammation. Let's say you're having your chia seeds, so I will recommend you to make chia seed water, and then again squeeze in some lemon or lime. That again is going to make it super powerhouse, to kind of reduce inflammation. Another things which is not very common, I think world over, is cardamom. Cardamom is not a very well known thing in the West areas, Western countries. But cardamom and cinnamon combination is awesome. Cinnamon, everybody knows, cinnamon is really good for improving your insulin sensitivity. That is good for fatty liver disease. That is good for weight loss issues. Cinnamon also helps with reducing inflammation. But when you combine cinnamon and cardamom, that actually increases the potency of them. So that's the one thing that you can do. So that's good. So again, these are the powerful food combinations. Try to include them as much as you can in your diet. So I think that will be very, very useful for you. Okay, then let's keep moving forward. So I just want to kind of share with you like just a quick routine. I set the foundation for the diet, right? So now you know what foundation pillars are there for the anti-inflammatory diet. But I just wanted to kind of share a quick routine because people sometimes find it difficult. So morning routine. So morning routine, again, as soon as you wake up in the morning, that's a very important time because your body is waking up. It wants to detoxify. It wants to reduce inflammation. So try to have some kind of morning ritual or a morning tea. Okay, not your black tea, not your Indian tea, not your coffee or anything, but something that rejuvenates your body. Okay, so you can add, like as I said, and obviously I've shared a couple of different tea recipes in the morning. But this one is one of my favorite ones which I use a lot is basically I brew in some green tea and then I add some ginger, lemon, as well as some turmeric into it and some cinnamon and cardamom. Yes, there are too many ingredients, but this is like a powerhouse. Green tea gives me the EGCG, which is an antioxidant. Ginger gives me gingerol, which is antioxidant. Lemon gives me vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. Turmeric gives me curcumin, which is an antioxidant. Cinnamon and cardamom again gives me antioxidants. So it is just recipes filled with things which is going to completely crush inflammation. Okay, very easy. As I said, just what you do is that warm up 1 cup of water and add all of these things into it, and then let it steep for 5 to 6 minutes, and then just kind of have it in the morning as soon as you wake up is best, empty stomach. And then breakfast, I'm a big fan of breakfast smoothies. If people know me, they know that I always recommend starting with smoothies. You add your chia seeds, your protein powder. Again, protein powder only vegan or collagen protein powder, never whey. Okay, add some greens, berries, awesome smoothie, anti-inflammatory smoothie. Or if you just want to go with traditional boiled eggs with some berries and some chia or some vegetables into it, that is also fine. If you are a vegan or vegetarian, you can do overnight oats, or you can do oats with vegetables. So good options for your morning. Okay, so morning routine, very, very important. Everybody should have a morning routine. As soon as you wake up, make sure you are having some, this kind of tea, which is going to help you detoxify, set your body straight, and then healthy breakfast, breakfast smoothies or something like that. Okay, so morning is the key. Lunches and dinners, again, like lunches and dinners is where you can be creative. You can just make sure you're having vegetables with each and every meal, some kind of protein, and then good fats. Dinner time, I prefer to have less grains. We are all doing it incorrectly, where we actually have heavier dinner and lighter lunch. No, that is not the right way to do it. Have your heavier lunch where you have your grains with your lunch, and try to have no grain dinner if you can. That is actually going to be very, very useful for you. So that's the way you make your lunches and dinners. Night protocol, again, sleeping is very important because that's the time your body is accumulating too many inflammatory issues, inflammatory molecules. So the night protocol is very important for you also. So like everybody knows about the coke, like the golden milk, which is basically made from turmeric, and then you can add some chamomile tea as well as coconut milk. I prefer to make it with coconut milk to make it dairy free, because again, dairy actually causes inflammation to majority of the people's body. So use a dairy free milk, which can be coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk, whichever you prefer. Use that. That will be a better for you for your anti-inflammatory night routine. So this prepares your body for detoxification. This prepares your body for actually sleeping properly in the night. Okay, so this is basically like kind of the routine that I was kind of talking about to it. So as I said, I shared with you like what the pillars of your anti-inflammatory diet looks like, which is rainbow colored vegetables, good quality protein, good quality fats, use food combinations, very, very important. keep your body hydrated. Okay. And then avoid foods which are causing inflammation in your body. Morning routine is very important. Make sure you have an anti-inflammatory morning routine by starting with a morning tea as well as having great breakfast. If you're following an intermittent fasting routine, the morning tea recipe I shared with you, that is still fine with intermittent fasting. That doesn't break your fast. And then you can delay your breakfast, or you can do a lunch directly. Okay. And then nighttime routine before you go to bed, again, have anti-inflammatory things in your body. So that way it continues to reduce inflammation while you're sleeping. What you should be expect when you follow this kind of diet, typically people will see improved energy, reduced stiffness. In week 2 they will see less bloating. Your gut will feel better. And then after that they will see inflammation reducing, improve mood. And generally 1 month is a time where your blood work should also start seeing some difference, that your HS-CRP or ESR might start showing a trend of going down. But consistency is key, right? Don't think that is a 100-meter sprint, that you follow it today and then tomorrow you'll be better and then everything, you go back to what you want to do. Keep consistently doing this protocol for 2 or 3 months and you will see amazing results, of how you're feeling. So try to incorporate this in your daily routine. That's the goal over here. Okay. So that's very important. As I said, 5 pillars, that you want to do. Start strong, anti-inflammatory morning, rainbow colors, smart combinations, proper preparations, stay hydrated. Okay. So the things that we were spoke about. And then, as you might know, that we have this anti-inflammatory supplement bundle. We'll talk about more supplements, in detail in the next call. But I just wanted to kind of make you aware that we have these anti-inflammatory supplements. Especially Inflammapro is very popular, and it's a very unique supplement of ours because it has 5 or 6 anti-inflammatory herbs. It has curcumin, it has boswellia, it has quercetin, it has rosmarinic acid. It has gingerols, everything that you need. So check out. Now we have 2 supplement stores. One is for India and one is for international or US clients. We will just post a link into the description of the chat. So that way, if you want to buy those supplements, you can easily do that. And that's about my presentations. As I said, these are all the links there where you can get the supplements from. Our website. So and then interested people who are interested in working on a very intense protocol to help their inflammation, please reach out to us. We try to accommodate as many requests of people who want to work with us. Okay. So that's a nutshell about the diet that will be useful for you to reducing inflammation. As I said, we are going to put you on a handout also, which is accompanies this diet. So we are going to put a link right now where that will help you to download that as I said, diet that you want to follow, some handout about information. Now we'll take questions from you. So please post your questions in the chat section so I can answer those for you. But as I said, we will share all the links about how you can download the handout, so you'll have it with you. And then, as I said, we will also take some questions. Alrighty. So how to reduce brain inflammation? Okay, somebody has this question. So very similar, whether you have inflammation in your brain, in your gut, in your legs, in your arms, or wherever in your joints, the process is very similar because basically inflammation is a systemic process which is taking place inside your body. Now it damages that part of the body which your body is weak points. Okay, so some people have weak points in their brain that causes brain inflammation. Some people have weak points in their joint that causes joint inflammation. So, or some people have gut as their main point of inflammation. So following this anti-inflammatory diet will be very useful, especially for brain inflammation. Good fats, those omega-3s will be the key, because 70% of your brain is good fat. Okay, so make sure you're including those good fats, omega-3s, in your diet. And I will also recommend actually taking a good omega-3 supplementations between 1000 and 2000 milligrams of EPA and DHA is what you're looking at. That is the only way you can get that amount of omega-3s to improve your brain health. And as you know that we have created this special omega-3 supplement, which is the one of the strongest omega 3s, which has the highest amount of EPA and DHA. So again, as you'll see, we have put the link into the section where you can buy those supplements wherever you are. All right. So the somebody has this question. Can I take the cleansing tea, the anti-inflammatory tea, both and things? Well, so absolutely yes. You can combine these teas at different times of the day, and then some people will take a certain tea in the morning, and then they will take later in the day they will take another tea, and then at nighttime routine also they will have another tea. Okay. Obviously, I don't know specific medical conditions of a person, so we cannot give any specific advices. But a lot of my clients will combine these teas, or will use it at different times of the day. Some will start with one tea in the morning, and then with breakfast they will have another tea to kind of get some benefit, and then they will have a nighttime tea. So absolutely, mix and match. You can do those. Please, no, not a problem. So yes, you can do that. Dennis has this question. Do you recommend liposomal methylcobalamin? Okay, so what is methylcobalamin? Methylcobalamin is basically B12. Okay, now majority of the B12 which has been used for a long time is cyanocobalamin. Okay, now what happens is that some, like, the cyanocobalamin needs to go into our body and needs to be converted to what we call as methylcobalamin or methylated B12. You might have heard of MTHFR issues. A lot of people have the genetic SNP where they cannot do this conversion to methylated B vitamins. And those are the people which will have typically a lot of, brain related symptoms, brain fog, mood changes, anxiety, depression, and stuff. So those are the people we recommend getting methylated B12. Liposomal form actually is even better because it actually reaches the cells inside of the cells directly, and again the bioavailability increases. So Dennis, yes, definitely I will recommend liposomal methylcobalamin. That's a good one that people should be using. A lot of great benefits from it. Okay, does low carb carnivore keto diet help in reducing inflammation? So carnivore diet actually is a very interesting diet, right? Obviously it's going on, like a lot of people are going on carnivore diet, and to be very frank, they will see immense improvement in their inflammation levels initially. But what we know is that this carnivore diet at short term basis works wonders for inflammation, but in long term basis it messes with people's gut. Okay, and that ultimately, then those people, stop seeing an improvement in their inflammation, and 2 or 3 months down the lane, or even 4 months, they will see the inflammation plateaus and sometimes even increasing. Okay, because the reason being, our gut microbiome needs prebiotics. What are prebiotics? Prebiotics are soluble fibers or insoluble fibers. And when you go on a carnivore diet, unfortunately, because you're eliminating all kinds of fruits and vegetables, those prebiotics do not reach the gut microbiome, and that gut microbiome starts dying and it replaces with bad bacteria. So that's the reason, for short term basis, if somebody wants to use it for a couple of weeks or maybe even for a month, I'm okay with using carnivore diet. We have good, key results with it. But for long term basis, I don't recommend a carnivore diet because the research doesn't support it. It does tell us that it can actually be causing worsening of inflammation. So that's the case. Then let's see. Somebody has this question about, can we use almond milk? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Almond milk is great. As I said, any kind of dairy-free milk, which can be almond milk, coconut milk, are better. Oat milk is not the best choice in terms of giving you the right nutrients. But yes, like some people do not like the taste of almond milk or coconut milk, then the oat milk comes the third on my list of preferred milks. Okay, so almond milk, coconut milk are the preferred, and then going to the oat milk will be the last. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's kind of seeing. So let me see your questions. Obviously, there's so many questions, and it takes me time to read all of them. So I'm just trying to see the best what I can do. Okay, what are the tests for inflammation? Okay, that's very good information. Yes, we forgot to include those things. What are the tests for inflammation? There are multiple tests. One of the best tests for inflammation is HS-CRP, okay, which is high sensitive CRP. A lot of people are doing plain CRP, which is CRP. Don't do that. Do HS-CRP, which is the most sensitive marker for inflammation. The second one is ESR. It is an older marker of inflammation, but not that sensitive. The third marker of inflammation is homocysteine. Homocysteine is very specific for telling us inflammation in your cardiovascular tree. Okay, so between these three, you will get a good idea whether your body has inflammation or not. But again, you need to remember, inflammation, you can have signs and symptoms of inflammation, but your blood work might be normal. Okay, and I see this day in day out. Like, people come to me, well, my blood work is all normal, I feel really bad, and I went to the doctors and they said, well, everything is okay, go home. Maybe it's in your mind, maybe you are stressed out, maybe you're depressed, maybe see a psychiatrist. Well, if you do have signs or symptoms of inflammation, then you do have inflammation and you need to work on it. Blood work is a guide. Okay, it is not an absolute results. I always use blood work or any kind of test as a guide in our practice. Like, that doesn't mean that if a person has all the signs or symptoms and the blood work doesn't show it, we still work on inflammation and we still get results. You will see improvement in your in your how you're feeling. So please work on inflammation. But yes, if you want to get a test, HS-CRP, homocysteine, and ESR is the best test. So that's great. And it has this question that she purchased some of our products. That's great, hopefully they're helping. But she doesn't tolerate black pepper. I want to make sure if that is omitted, that I still get results. So yes, definitely a lot of people don't agree with black pepper, and that is perfectly fine. You will still see benefit, but the research says that, let's say if you are doing turmeric, then you will get 30% of the benefit of the regular turmeric. But again, if you combine it with tartary juice, or if you combine it with ginger, or if you combine with quercetin, then they actually again help in improving the absorption of turmeric from you, right? So if you have known our inflammapro supplement, we don't use black pepper in that because a lot of people don't tolerate it. But what we do is that instead of black pepper, we are combining all of the other antioxidants. And research shows that other antioxidants work very similar to black pepper and improves the absorption of curcumin from your gut. Okay, so bottom line, if you don't tolerate black pepper, try to include other antioxidants, which will include, let's say, vitamin C, that includes ginger, that includes quercetin, which comes from apples and things, or you can take a supplement. So absolutely, yes, it doesn't mean that things are not going to work for you. Please keep on doing them. And the consistency is the key. After a few months, you definitely will see an improvement. Okay. Somebody has this question about the thyroid, where like, my TSH is 32. So yes, your TSH is very high. So make sure again, you first of all check whether you have Hashimoto's or not by checking the antibodies. If you do have Hashimoto's, again, things needs to be done to improve it, and hopefully you can get better. Somebody has a question, do you have supplements for menopause? So we do not have direct supplements for menopause, but a lot of the indirect supplements like vitamin D, like omega-3s, okay, help with rebalancing the menopausal hormones and are very useful. And our Inflammapro supplement, again, if you do have inflammation in your body, that will be useful. But if you're specifically looking for like hot flashes or mood changes which are happening in menopause, then we don't have a supplement to rebalance those hormones. We do have these indirect supplements that can be useful over here. So that's great. We will have to take few more questions. Again, as I said, thank you so much for coming over here, joining us. And as I said, we'll keep doing these live sessions in the future also. So keep showing up. Like as I said, next session again will be next Thursday. We will talk about maybe supplements, maybe gut health. I'm not sure. Okay, we will tell you about it. So, but keep joining us. And as I said, we will post links of how to download the handout which is associated with the diet today. So that might be useful for you. And keep posting in the community section which kind of things you want me to talk about. So I will be definitely be talking about those more and more for you. Okay, let me take a few more questions. Sanjana has this question: eyelid is dropping. Can you suggest me any remedy? Sorry, I cannot. Eyelid dropping. You have to have certain neurological disorders. Oh, okay. As you said, you might have myasthenia, so definitely you can have myasthenia as a disease. I think you need to see a proper diagnosis and see what is going on over there. Okay, so that is awesome. Let's see any last questions people have. How if we can answer those for people. So let me see. Um, TSH is normal, but my anti-TPO antibodies are 1400. Now they are before 2 years, but now when I had a check once again, then it was 316. For which one doctor said it's because of different kits. Well, it can be different kits because different labs, different countries' labs will check it differently. So try to be consistent with the same labs. But we see this happening each and every day in our clients, that they are able to reduce their antibodies by following an anti-inflammatory diet, by following certain supplements, by following protocols. They're able to reduce their inflammation and reduce their thyroid antibodies, and that's the goal. That's the way we are reversing Hashimoto's diseases, by working on the root cause approach of this inflammation and other things, so that we can lower the thyroid antibodies. Okay, so yes, we have hope of lowering the thyroid antibodies and get to the stage where we are able to completely reverse the disease. Consistency is a key, guys. So please make sure you are using all of the things, everything that you know of. If you hopefully that have this book, Reversing Hashimoto's, which gives you a guide of how you can improve your antibodies, how you can improve your thyroid health. And also, as I said, we also have all the associated supplements now. So feel free to buy those supplements. For thyroid, we have a thyroid support supplement, which has all the right ingredients in the right quantity. So again, so that way you can lower your antibodies and support your thyroid gland. Inflammapro helps with reducing inflammation. So yes, wherever you are in the world, you can buy them. For India, we have an India specific website, and for US, we have a US based website, so you can buy supplements from there. All right, guys, I think we are getting to the end of this session today. It was really, really nice, and thank you so much for joining us over here. Keep coming to all of these live sessions. Keep sharing your love, and keep sharing these videos with anybody who can be useful for it. Okay. And again, really, really want to thank you guys that you came over here, spare some time. Hopefully, these sessions are useful. Hopefully, the information we share with you are useful. Any questions you have, please, share your questions. I try to answer as much as I can. But that's the reason we are doing these live sessions, so you have opportunity to ask questions, and I can try to answer as many as that. Okay. So until next time, take care. We'll see you next Thursday again, same time, same place. And then, as I said, more and more information is coming your way. Okay. All right. Take care, guys. Bye bye for now. Have a nice day.